What are you doing this Saturday night? Why not join me, Rita, for International Rendezvous on 5EBI? Sit back and relax to a selection of music from around the world. Don't be shy. Pick up that phone. Call me on 8211 7066. Give a shout out to your family and friends. You don't need to be alone on Saturday night. I'll be here from 8 p.m. to 1 a.m. You're invited to share International Rendezvous with me, Rita, this Saturday night on the longest running multicultural radio station 5EBI, 103.1 FM, EBI World on your digital radio or via the web 5ebi.com.au. Join in, it won't cost you anything. Come on, call me on 8211 7066. I'd love to hear from you.
Everybody over here.
Hello, my name is Torry Osborne. That's Torry with an O and not Terry, and I'm the sponsorship contact here at radio station 5EBI. If you've been thinking about radio sponsorship or thought you might like to have a chat about how sponsorship works and don't know how to go about it, then give me a call, Torry with an O, on 8211 7635. That's 8211 7635, and I'll be more than happy to come out and discuss it with you. That's Torry with an O, Torry with an O, Torry with an O.
Fesgur má raibhla agus fáilte an uair Rèidio Albannach Astràilia-a-Deas ag coig EBI an 93.1 FM ar digitach EBI World News an line. Is Misha Renich Nich Gary. Good afternoon and welcome to Scottish Radio Hour here at 5EBI 103.1 FM or digital EBI World. My name is Rachel Hay, and a special welcome to anyone listening from further afield with our streaming service at www.5ebi.com.au. How are you today? I myself am well, although cold in this weather, and keen to start, as I usually do, with this week in animal news. Ymesio mach galiwr agus santáisichi, maar is afisglan, le naiach behechen. Chara ach drach naiach gus naiach a nas mesa awn and shachgan sha. Animal news this week is approximately bad and worse. So we'll start with the worst and get it out of the way. Chanel pís naiach seo choma femi mira. Oor luchtleitiges ag partner glynna awn Dunfarling, gundanig milliach an eon lawn nuur ranig et matting Gearasdan shachai. Last Wednesday morning, keepers at the Pittencrieff Park in Dunfermline arrived in the morning to find destruction in the peacock enclosure. One bird, called Malcolm, was dead. Park keepers said horribly tortured, while another, Louis, was also injured. Va callech peachige ra meilcholam marev, agus va fair ella ra wogi a leonach. Horste follas an shachken, chai da clown, 3 agus 1 blian a rish and animnechig, maar farstje and tacharta sha. Following the death of a peacock within Pittencrieff Park, a spokesman for Police Scotland has announced 2 children aged 13 and 11 have been identified in relation to the incident. A report for the 13-year-old has been submitted through the youth justice system. Chai astja choristjach gan testum karchist agri, meyer and fer 3 bliana a rish. Kudjach, hoshich GoFundMe, gos an ean lawn a charich. I guess ha 1 mile no town. Chai sin agrachig le Melanie Sorby, a horse gun chedge and clucharagat fat gan na peachagan es na dyrnia of yes a kayat rua. A GoFundMe has also been started to help repair the aviary, which was damaged, and has so far raised £11,000. It was organised by Melanie Sorby, who says the peacocks in Pittencrieff Aviary and the volunteers will be the sole beneficiaries of the funds, and all money will be transferred to them. So, after that awful news, it's probably time for our first song. Here's Talitha McKenzie with Funky Bird Medley.
Funky Bird.
Halloch gléirtachis, a géirí a rialtas na halpa barach go dhéanamh go stoch a bhrating iarich a dhéan, is é a graag an ránig an gláich suíochaig éigeneach. Conservationists are calling on the Scottish Government to do more to protect wild salmon stocks, saying that the situation has become an emergency. It was confirmed last Wednesday that wild salmon numbers are now at their lowest since 1952, when records began. Hadol Gearasdan a Gearasdan gyfel araf yn y frating eich a geira as isla, fo 1940 nu'r a hosichar a chwmw chlarian. Creich si a bwnion gleitachis am Missing Salmon Alliance, a se at a geiri grif fo realtas na halpa es on brat yn y gian. 6 conservation groups have formed the Missing Salmon Alliance, and they are seeking action from the Scottish Government to protect salmon. One of these bodies, the Scottish Fisheries Administration, said that climate change is causing great harm and that while it is indeed an international problem, they would still call on the Scottish Government to do things in Scotland, in rivers and along the coast to try and improve salmon numbers. Horst Chéad na bhúin sin, rianach giasci na halpa, gavel aharachag na gra híide a dhéanamh mór an crown, agus gur triple shet in ashanta sin, gun éirigh iat ast réaltas na halpa, rutan a dhéanamh ann an alpa, an aimhnechanas muna cháiste, san fiachan rí pisach a horst aravan. Agus host réaltas na halpa gavelit a gopir cólarí rianach iascach na halpa, rá inlach urtach son a vrating iarich, agus gavelit ag gníomhan son an bratan a dhéan a chur an sás mahar. The Scottish Government itself has responded by saying that it's working with the Scottish Fisheries Administration on a forward-looking strategy for wild salmon and have already implemented actions to protect the salmon. We were talking about bratan salmon, not scatan herring, but nevertheless, here's Pete and Diesel singing A Plate Full of Scatan.
For my dinner on a Sunday night before I go to the church. She said that it's good for a young sinner. You better eat it all before you get any thinner. I got a plate full of scatan and some maracoo. I got a plate full of scatan and some maracoo. A plate full of scatan and some maracoo. Why the hell folks like it? Well, I ain't got a clue. Everybody needs a granny for a scatan. Everybody needs a granny. Everybody needs a granny for a scatan. Everybody needs a granny. I'm dancing on my way to Sunday school. I kicked a football straight at the minister's wife. He dragged me back to Granny's and he called me a fool. He slapped me to the table, sat me down on a stool. I got a plate full of scatan and some maracoo. I got a plate full of scatan and some maracoo. A plate full of scatan and some maracoo. Why the hell folks like it? Well, I ain't got a clue. Everybody needs a granny for a scatan. Everybody needs a granny. Everybody needs a granny for a scatan. Everybody needs a granny. This food makes me sick. It makes my skin crawl as I threw up. I fight and I brawl. Arrested for 3 years and to my great dismay, the prison cook was Johnny Beck from Carloway. I got a plate full of scatan and some maracoo. I got a plate full of scatan and some maracoo. A plate full of scatan and some maracoo. That's guaranteed to turn your gut and make you go spewing. Everybody needs a granny for a scatan. Everybody needs a granny. Everybody needs a granny for a scatan. Everybody needs a granny. Everybody needs a Big Mac or a Whopper. Everybody needs a Big Mac. Everybody needs a Big Mac or a Whopper. Everybody needs a Big Mac. I got a plate full of scatan and some maracoo. I got a plate full of scatan and some maracoo. A plate full of scatan and some maracoo. It's guaranteed to turn your gut and make you go spew. I got a plate full of scatan and some maracoo. I got a plate full of scatan and some maracoo. A plate full of scatan and some maracoo. A plate full of scatan and some maracoo.
was, and I swear this is unrelated to the contents of the last song, an E. coli outbreak at a nursery in Hawick in the Borders earlier this month. Noch ag scapag E. coli ag bunscoil an an Hawick, a mis siachai. Chai an scoil a rúnig agus cha fásclia man cheje alannach goodawing. It was contained successfully, and the school won't be reopened until after it's been deep cleaned. So that's not really a news story. I'm just using it as an intro into a different story for context. Leis go bhfuil sin a brian me dhéana E. coli, ha skipa bhil olhais trílai, a rounsacha dhéana a bheith plastic triat, san linea forathe. A team from Stirling University has found that plastic waste on beaches is more likely to retain harmful bacteria than natural material like seaweed is. They studied 10 beaches along the Forth estuary and also used the phrase fecal bacteria, which is what E. coli is. Uren skipper amach gewel droch wachter en fata nas kommenta skuttel plastic na rutten naderach marfjommen. Horstet gra oive nan skuttel uavanach. Horstel olve has jurig nan raunsachi. Lashin an doel wet wipe njoga aying. Ach, hanig an skip arashle malach as J malach. The team also said that the volume of waste was shocking. Professor Richard Quilliam, who led the research team, said, "We expected to collect a few wet wipes everywhere, but the team came back with bags and bags of them." Well, we already know that plastic waste is a bad idea, so this is really just another reason. The fésach in caillou na hel scuttle plastic ma gan talv. Mar sin cur seo an liste a hagat cudjach. Ach, nach grot egelach hela van scrúdach a cha géan a bheith deich trai agus dáthraich náv nam nesk. Va an cudjbachted a urid wája an antibiotican. But the sites studied include at least 2 bathing water beaches, and most of the bacteria found, which causes severe upset stomach, were also found to have high rates of resistance to antibiotics. But Scotland is making an effort this month to combat plastic waste, as they've introduced a new ban on single-use plastics, similar to what we have here in South Australia. Ha an alpa ha eter bachag genochag ha collach reishavachig a hagingsa a shaw an Australia-a-Deas, an rutten plastic a chlachastu achtar es a van. Bí shaw an skeintchen is gremichan plastic, traincheren is Comunn plastic, agus couponan is boxican polystyrene. The ban applies to plastic cutlery, plates, straws, stirrers, plastic balloon sticks and polystyrene cups and food containers. It will be up to local authorities to enforce and has a maximum fine of £5,000. Bid last in us, na cáilich an enadal, gus an bachag a chumal, agus bí alpan a chiad fart gen rioch génichte bachag mar seo a chruich. Bí mi 16 million pieces an plastic mar seo gan chlachag gach bliana, an alpa a van, agus bí penas an agus je 5 mil an áit down. Get a bhés sursach gaun da luch gegémas Comunn plastic it överin medigach. The Scottish Government says it's the first part of the UK to ban most of these problematic plastics, of which an estimated 700 million are currently used in Scotland every year. But there are exemptions for plastic straws for people who need them for medical reasons. A chance gynnyring do graich gnaichasan an cuch plastic eing vol sassing. Mar ha cúsin ec rawn seo, ach ha réaltas an rioch gynnichte a gopere aharachian da ach maragian a stay, agus ha sassing a biachtach ger bachag mar seo caillou. In theory, businesses in Scotland could still get their plastic products from other parts of the UK until the UK government passes an amendment to the Internal Market Act to exclude such plastic products. And England is planning a similar ban anyway. Well, if you want to reduce the quantities of E. coli-ridden plastic in the oceans, then what better way than to begin reducing your plastic waste? Well, that was the point of that whole story, but here's the McCalmans singing Let's Recycle.
Let's recycle, it's so easy, we can tell you what to do.
Just apply some simple rules and you can save the planet too. Please don't panic, just remember, rocket science it is not. We're just talking loads of rubbish, you can really help a lot. Every person must recycle, 'cause we buy things now and then. Use that thing, then save that thing, so you can use that thing again and again
Plastic items must be saved, but only those marked 1 and 2.
Paper bags, unwanted bags, they all go in your box of blue. In your red box, place your jam jars, aluminium and tin. All the rest, with some exceptions, must go in the dark grey bin. Every person must recycle, 'cause we buy things now and then. Use that thing, then save that thing, so you can use that thing again and again.
In the brown bin, place your grass, no nappy stones or things like that.
No syringes, ancient fridges, nuclear waste or lumps of fat. If you misplace just one item, you'll be warned and then a fine. After that, you're sent to prison, rotting till the end of time. Every person must recycle, 'cause we buy things now and then. Use that thing, then save that thing, so you can use that thing again and again.
Red bins go out on a Thursday, sometimes blue bins go as well.
Brown bins every second week, meanwhile the grey bins start to smell. They go out alternate fortnights, all excepting holidays. And at Christmas when you need it, please expect some small delays. Every person must recycle, 'cause we buy things now and then. Use that thing, then save that thing, so you can use that thing again and again.
Some folk think that when they die, they'll go to heaven, then return.
But for me, there's no hereafter, so I have a cunning plan. When I die, don't bury me low, just place me in a box of red. Put me out on Thursday morning, please recycle me instead. Every person must recycle, 'cause we buy things now and then. Use that thing, then save that thing, so you can use that thing again and again.
Thank you for this helpful brochure. I intend to lead the way. I'll go upstairs to the toilet
and recycle it today. Every person must recycle. Use that precious thing again. Every person must recycle. Use that precious thing again and again.
Six families in rural Aberdeenshire have been taking part in an electric bikes pilot project. Has siad teolch in an siaramach gopayean, páirste gafel an an project pilatach bicycle an gelonach. Ha colia siaramach gopayean a kestich an gafig a bhí gun bíag duine a chlachig bicycle an gelonach an áte carichin. Ma ha a fyrach an dúich seach an balla. Agus thugéad bicycle an gelonach na teolachin son bliana. The Aberdeenshire Council have been trying to find out how easy it is to replace cars with electric bikes in rural rather than urban Scotland. Participants were given electric bikes for a year. One family from 10 miles north of Aberdeen say that their most enthusiastic family member is 4-year-old Penny, who loves cycling to Kindy with her dad. Ha Penny ceithir blian a rish, le mesal leis na bicycle a leis gan chéad cála rí ahir an scal sa bhating, agus gan bí spór saon mar sin. Ach bí dá cheolach san scéime a brian ma dhéan an slia a dul gan cuch obrach. Thuirsteachir Penny go bhfuil le daribh a déanamh cín gan bí am go leor ann san an slia agus am a bhí cála rís a cheolach. Two families talk about the work commute. Penny's dad, Martin Smith, says that with his work 25 miles away, it's difficult to plan ahead and budget the time for the commute by bicycle rather than car without sacrificing time with his family. Conversely, Tim McLaren, who lives 15 miles from his work, used to make the trip by push bike, and he much prefers the e-bike, which he says makes a big difference on the hills. He says he's less tired when he gets to work, but his biggest challenge is the weather. Ach, an lá thuirs Meister McLaren, go bhfuil bicycle an gelonach fata na bear na bicycle áhasteach geháirí na beantah, agus nach heile riamh chá cí nuair agus a cuch obrach. Horst Meister McLaren agus Charlotte Milburn and sé a simalacha gra an tamashid a sturre. Charlotte Milburn was the most rural participant, 3 miles to the nearest shop and 20 to the nearest supermarket. She says it's much more accessible to get up the hill in 12 minutes rather than half an hour, but said that while she has at times used the bike when she would have used the car, and it's good in summer, she wasn't able to cycle much in winter. Het sjouwlijk 3 mailtjen van vu agus 5 mailtjen van olvargi. Agus geta an bicycle féanal a bhíaching a nías a chnaich na slóie. Habbar an í an bike chhlacha chotrich as geaurí. Nar a smaineachas meise, mae an bicycle an jalan a chan in Australia tyfa mwy na baltjen móre. Ha mi creitjen gwn beget clachel can ans na cranch of Adelaide, fara fel na baltjen car fasger a chele. Ach nach veget chofe emel an an aatjechen fara fel a hulasien fata nas imaliche. Thinking about rural electric bike schemes in Australia, and I don't know if there are any, I think it might work in places like the Adelaide Hills, where towns are still relatively close together. But in more rural areas, where it might be an hour or more in the car to get to the nearest shop, they wouldn't be of any use. Well, here's a song about a man who went on a long trip to get whiskey, but didn't have the benefit of an electric bicycle. Turas San Lochmore, sung by Julie Fowlis.
Níomhana mín goníns mi gaibhan round, go fáin ganin siide, it's scríb do híd le gá, ne bacalán de checan, is rudan na bhagá, scum bíon ag blinúdan, scum húna éidan drá. Chiquiat in galaf mi casús le má bhací chean am gón, a dalaloch na madagar, asig sa bhach mór, a fuach na machas se, sfasneach gyd warn alón, chadiach a nich mynd alban, chofat se vis mit bew. Muranig mi cherstuk, arstuk dyn i chof, a hoek stuik en dal mi, så nog go karstje smord, hoek går ti a bjerstje mi i vlastof, gushi sin fuach murgach sin le vach asjurs plas le flof. Sin grishin kjarseveg, na plasat stu kruai, gandanik ben na masje, smut jawara worst, is khanin hin pamatan, eragin ket huan. Nur hopi mag go fashion ja, shin jarsne loch de ski, snur hashi kurna mar orn beva vi etchi, bamishe mar fakach, es barnjaram stri, san dramagal mi kjarseveg, bedoelig jouw zien. Wanneer je zwaai shit je gaan gehaald is Gianna Bear. Als in je laat beter gaan naar zien gedelaar. De reisje is kan kwasje lei, smoot beskalt je gaarst. Vakura meka krijg in nachtje je gepraat. Ach ran ik sin loch bestol, le tian die is arst. Hoek mi leeuw ma wakkichen, is haar mi assewa. Gaan aan inse na patintje, get er in je rente juist. Hoe het mi kattel zachter aan het dag ik gun koos. Ik mash at verrood maar ragare, or nog die karstjes goos. Kom fatte slani, or spajani na toy. Kalero een andere nacht gaat er nog moe. En krijg niet meer en door en zal kun iets meer geven door. En maar toch heel me gari agus pochtel na me voor. Kun ik zien de karsten, de party ik heb short. Is kara hun han ik kling, a gaan je nog moe.
Siwfagéisteach rí Comunn Rèidio Albannach Astràilia-a-Deas ag coig EBI 93.1 FM digitach EBI World Astràilia an líne. You are listening to Scottish Radio Hour at 5 EBI 103.1 FM, digital EBI World or streaming online. Han program Gearasdan wa Alpa agus van Tlóach Albannach a Seo and in Astràilia-a-Deas agus Effiach na Dúcha. This program is for those interested in all things relating to Scotland and the Scottish diaspora here in Australia. Maha si version tach a chwrhaging agus fi nu'r bal radio, cha fi sin ach $10 gach bliana, cwra ffôn gwmairat, ac nioni ceid 1 3 siach da da coig 3 siach. If you would like to help us stay on air, you can become a member for only $10 a year. To find out more or to get an application form, please ring Margot on 0413 722 537 or email us on scotradiosA, all one word, all lowercase, at gmail.com. And that brings us to the What's On. This Saturday, the Port Adelaide Caledonian Society is having a musical evening entitled A Road to the Isles and Beyond. That will be at 7 p.m. for a 7:30 p.m. start at the Port Adelaide Caledonian Society Hall in 189 Semaphore Road, Exeter. And if you want to find out more, I do recommend contacting Chief Jenny Niven at jenny.niven Niven at hotmail.com or email at or mobile at 0400 896 131. The following Saturday, Port Adelaide Caledonian Society Pop-Up Market, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m, again at the Port Adelaide Caledonian Society Hall, which is 189 Semaphore Road, Exeter, and contact Jenny if you want to confirm that's happening. As I always say, I get my What's On from the SASA date book, which is published at the beginning of the year, and plans change, especially during the COVID times, so it's always worth double-checking with the people hosting these events to make sure that they are still happening. But that brings us to Friday, the 24th of June, when the Manapara Caledonian Society are having a social dance. That will be at the Grenville Hub, 6 Playford Boulevard, Elizabeth, and the Saturday book doesn't say what time it is, so you should contact Lorraine Findlay on email at tazdv1, that's tazdv1 at chariot.net.au, or by phone 0413 347 076, that's 0413 347 076, to find out more about the Manapara Caledonian Society's social dance on Friday the 24th. And Saturday the 25th, Port Adelaide Caledonian Society might be having Tartan Day celebrations. That will be at their hall again. It does say TBA, to be advised, in the book, so you should contact, you guessed it, Chief Jenny Niven. Jenny Niven, jenny.niven at hotmail.com, or on phone 0400 896 131. Tuesday 28th of June is the Robert Burns Study Group Night, which will be 7:30 p.m. in the corner room of the Burnside Council offices, which is the corner of Portrush and Greenhill Roads. Now, to find out more about, double check that that's still happening, I do believe you contact John Thornton, whose contact details I will tell you momentarily. Probably. No, well, it's John Jan Thornton is the email address. Oh no, here we are. johnjan4 at gmail.com to find out about the Robert Burns Study Group, and by phone at 0409 863 235. And that brings us to the beginning of July. Now, as you might know, the Tartan Day occurs at the beginning of July. But nevertheless, we'll kick off July, possibly, contact Jenny Niven with a Port Adelaide Caledonian Society Irish Night at their hall in Exeter. It doesn't even have the date listed, so definitely if you're interested in attending the Irish Night, contact Jenny Niven, whose details I've already given multiple times. So, July the 1st, which is a Friday, the Narracourt Caledonian Society, for those of you who are down that way, are having Day of a Tartan, probably at the Narracourt Hotel at 6 p.m, toasts followed by dinner. So if you want to find out more about that, contact Mrs. Shirley Dixon at Shirley Dixon, spelt SHIRLEYDICKSON, at y7mail.com. That's the letter Y7 mail.com, or by phone 0494 299 256. That's 0494 299 256. Miss Shirley Dixon, to find out more about the Naracoorte Caledonian Society's tartan dinner at Naracoorte Hotel on Friday the 1st of July. Saturday the 2nd of July, tartan celebrations for the SASA, Scottish Associations of SA. That's at Burnside Library, as usual. It says 11am/2pm. That might be 2 events. Details to be advised. So definitely check. It'll probably be information on the library website. There often is. So contact the library to find out more. And the number given is 8366 4280. That's 8366 4280. Find out more about tartan celebrations Saturday the 2nd of July at the Burnside Library. Sunday the 3rd of July, there's a Tartan Sunday church service at Wesley Uniting Church, which is the corner of Fullerton and Grenfell Roads, Kent Town. 10am start, procession of the clan banners, morning tea. That's Sunday the 3rd of July, Wesley Uniting Church, Kent Town at 10am, followed by the Tartan Day March in Adelaide, which starts from North Terrace, assembling at the Governor's Corner at 1pm and marching to Victoria Square. Details to be confirmed with the Adelaide City Council, so I would suggest look on the City Council website to find out more. But definitely lots of exciting things planned for the start of July for Tartan Day. And that's probably enough what's on to be getting on with, because that takes us up to a month. So that was the What's On.
What's On is brought to you by our sponsors, the Scottish Banner newspaper. The Scottish Banner is Australia's national Scottish newspaper, available each month with news from Scotland and the Australian Scottish community. Get your copy at newsagents or by subscribing at www.scottishbanner.com. For a good Scottish read, get the Banner.
And Scottish Radio are looking for more sponsors. So if you own a small business and would be interested in supporting our programme, please get in touch with us. You can have a small sponsorship announcement on the radio, like the one you've just heard, and reach a wider audience in the Scottish community and beyond, because a lot of people listen to 5EBI that are not just Scottish. So get in touch with us at Scottish Radio, chat to our secretary, Margot Mernitz, on 0413 722 537, or by email to scotradiosa@gmail.com. You can also find us on Facebook at Scottish Radio South Australia. And all of that applies if you're interested in becoming a radio member. You don't necessarily have to present on air, as I do. It's $10. You're supporting us to continue broadcasting. You get a nice little newsletter at the end of the year. So get in touch with us if you're interested in sponsoring or just becoming a member. And one thing I forgot to mention on the What's On, coming up next weekend, the National Celtic Festival in Port Arlington. It's quite a long way away, it's near Geelong, but there is still time to get tickets organised to go over there if you want. So, Tartan Week and the National Celtic Festival coming up this month, and I suppose at both of those places you'll find some iron brew to drink, which is my segue into the next song, which is Scotia, which is spelled Scocha, with their song Iron Brew.
When I was wee, the kids would ask for ginger when they played, for that's the name they gave to every drink they ever made. There was Pepsi, Coke and Vimto, ginger beer and lemonade. But when they asked me, "What you want?" this is what I said: Iron brew, iron brew, fill me up when you brew. It's the only thing to do. Iron brew, iron brew, iron brew, iron brew. When you're older, it's a different kind of drink you want to sip. To settle for a pint or three and finish with a nip. When you wake up in the morning and your face is turning green, you need the greatest pick-me-up the world has ever seen. Iron brew, iron brew, makes
meet friggerders.
Seek a swig, dance a jig, any time you like. On a train, in a plane, even on your bike. It's hard to beat, it tastes as sweet as Scotland when they score.
It's in the veins of Hampden when they're tossing on the road. Iron Blue will be up when you do. It's the only thing to do. Iron Blue picks you up when you're through. It's the only thing to do. Iron Blue makes you feel brand new. It's the only thing to do. Iron Blue, Iron Blue, Iron Blue, Iron Blue, Iron Blue, We'll be coming, we'll be coming down the road. When you hear the noise of the Tartan Army boys, they'll be drinking Iron
A new hospital was officially opened in Broadford, Badenoch and Strathspey last Friday. High Hospital O'r an Albannach Astràilia Gearasdan, le rúnara na sláinte Hamza Yusuf. Ha fichad lepanan is ceirán yn unit eigen, cwrym alsha, unit dialysis dúigan, X-ray is ultrasound agus unit maharach korsnach. Health Secretary Hamza Yusuf was there to open the hospital, which has 24 beds, an emergency centre, a cancer centre, a kidney dialysis centre, X-ray and ultrasound, and a community maternity centre. NHS Highland Chairman Dr Boyd Robertson was enthusiastic and said, "This is an historic day for communities in Skye, Loch Alsh and South West Ross, and a new era for the area's health services. Sé lá echriel hasha de chairsnachkin san Ellen Skienach, Loch Alsh is yes Ross, is lean son service and slanch in a skiere. Horst Catheriche NHS na Gaeltach an Tolov Boyd Robertson. Colchration Hospital an Badenoch, be hospital an Achlachen, ag Crean and Corishnach can Niana Dull. Son Emech Bliana. Like the new hospital in Badenoch, he said the new Broadford Hospital will be at the heart of local communities for many years to come. But the opening comes at a time when controversy continues over health services in the area, with concerns raised again this week as the emergency care centre in Portree has once again closed. Hánig an fosco rechnám nuair a ha coinspech a wantan muherafes an sláintes an sciere. As jade draga nuair a bhí ann a riest an seachan seo as dhéanat a churm éigenach ann an Portree a bhí dúnse uis eile. Bí caiineh ann an Portree de marst an átheachging sin an dú san brian service an sláinte. Hurst Hospital Hain go bhfuil na tripletin scás nach heil luch obrach go leor ann, agus nach heil luch obrach go leor ann scás nach heil tehan go leor ann. Sin scás go bhfuil cus holiday lets ann. The hospital has said that closures are due to staff shortages and that the staff shortages are due to housing shortages. They're not the only employers in the Western Isles, I suppose Skye is in the Western Isles. They're not the only complaints in Scotland, employers in Scotland to make the same complaints, but locals have been raising concerns for years about the number of homes being bought out to become holiday lets and pricing local people out of the market. There was good news on that front from Harris this week, as the community is making a bid to buy the Bays estate. Hadolchas angefel oiach na coirisnach oirach nam bai ans na hereg, a cheannach a tien gebol. Vach canjevan nja aramalaun ans an coirisnach an shachin sa chai. Ha sin son an fiesrach a gorsch gan loig, ach an feichet Gearasdan a yen of machuras dyn ja vaatan son an oirach a cheannach. Horst Ian MacDhòmhnaill van Vian Studi. We want to give the public the information so they can see what can be done if people vote to buy the estate, said Ian MacDhòmhnaill of the steering group regarding the meetings which took place last week. The information is very detailed and covers what people in the area want. It wasn't provided by outsiders at all. but by meetings with the public here. The hafisrachig ma of agus gema manajach, agus ha torf da staire na ha duine a géri san skere. Chanje duine a mui a hug an fisrachig seo shachat Egypt. A va kanje van aging an seo ayan amach wan popel, je ha duine a géri a dhéanamh nan dhéach an éireach a cheannach. Channeal cáil tachas der an éireach gach an alm seo an PSB an éireach chuirte. Nothing is happening at the moment on any part of the estate. So now for some music.
Vas ma henna or a shana is a genie mare gala vi me gala slach it come la mi hare ra hing ha was shung halvai fatai yala bin gada licking ha see you the bahoro bilimbo ha eli peroi go bilimbo ha see you the bahoro bilimbo ha ka kuna na chier man je fome si ke fa noch is a hore na zakena ke das kam die verstehst Wache chayini on your fine as a nini Stiffing in my hini hani sugar masi Hune bahoro bilimbo ha Elium peroi goi hilimbo ha Si hune bahoro bilimbo ha Beyond the left for John Kachmara gesma Nach linkshin ya denga Vinge fere hukke sasi Se bjundra gene charniga Achika lach Nach reis het het lave Gaan nulir gen mi lage Spul je hosje haanje Listal in je maag Zie hune bahoro bilimbo ha Elium peroi goi hilimbo ha Si hune bahoro bilimbo ha Mami chef de tour Zoals ze wachten nu de gus Keppen op en de hul in het tjult Dag een maag Ik kan zo tegen nul En ik ga niet secondi Kan je er de hol aan zie je aan je glas Zie hune bahoro bilimbo ha Elium peroi goi hilimbo ha Si hune bahoro bilimbo ha Se rete gelad en get some mitigating haji na kaja flach Se borde va het kitchen me shmarach Visam ne bivari ye vaga le piazzi hune bahoro bilimbo ha Elim peroi koi bilimbo ha Si hune bahoro bilimbo ha Ben dorje stane vaaj nach vecin se gedrahe gen hoge de volari nach paart na smiach Artig in nanes Yo again hard me, then you hook a sassy whole lot to the yassi, you the bahoro bilimbo ha, Elia peroi koi bilimbo ha, see you the bahoro bilimbo ha, Elia peroi koi bilimbo ha, see you the bahoro bilimbo ha.
That was Manran with Ora na Chloiche, which is about the coronation stone. Speaking of which, you might have heard it's the Queen's Platinum Jubilee, her 60th anniversary as Queen at the moment. But we are running out of time on the show, so just a few quick pieces of animal news before we say goodbye, starting with Princess Anne and her husband Tim, who visited Edinburgh Zoo this week to feed penguins and pet armadillos. Chai bana preonsa auna, agus an duine Tim, an zoo an an dunejin halping and shachking, faran de chanje chiet and ri kin fiena, agus armadillochen. Rugig da cullion leopard snach gas a farch bechach ounce an eivor le animesh, a mahish, agus koshi, an ahish. 2 snow leopard cubs were born in the wildlife park in Aviemore to first-time parents Animesh and Koshi. Hopefully they won't meet up with the newborn baby polar bear we were talking about a few months ago. I can only imagine that would go badly. I mean, dachas na chanich na cullion leopard rish and cullion mahan ban when the Munromi a brain and Davies Shachai. A flock of cows near Edinburgh detained a thief after he fled a house last Saturday and turned into the wrong field. Or the right field, depending on your point of view. Jysahar shachai cudich triad croi na polis nuair a statiad merlach a chian amach and a tai fasger donage in the halping. Chai a merlach gan ache kiar, nor kiar down and doi, agus nuair hanig an polis vai eis a vachig lesh and triad. The incident was reported by the homeowner at around 6:30 in the morning last Saturday, and by the time the police arrived to arrest him, the cows had the thief under guard. And that'll be about all we have time for today on Scottish Radio Hour, 5 EBI 103.1 FM, mar sin sinné bhuamanish phone ur Radio Albannach Astràilia-a-Deas, ag coig EBI on 93.1 FM. Cheery and drasta agus sorry let, chi sinú an ahiachking. Ach, nach fallaf, ferich son ur Radio Eranach ag lech ur. Scottish Radio Hour will be back at the same time next week. And of course, don't forget Celtic Radio Hour at 5 p.m. on Saturday. And I am back on the first Tuesday of every month with your bilingual show. But why go anywhere now? Stick around and listen to our friends at Irish Radio Hour coming up shortly at 1:30. Until then, some instrumental music from a group called Austral that I first encountered at the National Celtic Festival last year. It was 2019, the last time it happened. I'm hoping to see them again this year, and this is The Old Bush from their album Austral, recorded around the kitchen table in Adelaide.
is not your average radio station. With you, our listeners, we form a community, your community. We're a not-for-profit organisation. That means we have only one purpose: to give a voice to local ethnic communities. We think everyone deserves a chance to speak their mind in their language. If you've enjoyed our programmes over the years and value what we do, when you're planning or changing your will, think of including us. A bequest to 5EBI will make a real difference for the future. It's the gift of a lifetime, the reassurance that your community stays strong and rich for years to come. It's your legacy. For more information, you can talk to our General Manager in complete confidence by calling 8211-7635 during office hours. Make a bequest to 5EBI. It will always be remembered.
Five EBI, hear a world of difference.
Hi, it's Jackie here from Mostly Music. It's for the over 60s, the young at heart, and everybody in between. So join us every Wednesday from 1:30 till 3 p.m. Also, every Thursday from 1:30 till 3 p.m. and every Friday from 12:30 till 2:30 for easy listening music that will brighten your afternoon. It's informative, entertaining, with a soundtrack you already know and love. That's Mostly Music on Wednesdays and Thursdays from 1:30 and Fridays from 12:30. Right here on EBI 103.1 FM, online at 5ebi.com.au or on digital at EBI World.
On Wednesday night, go to bed with me, Eric Ford, and Folk to Midnight. Then wake up with me Thursday morning, 6 a.m. with Good Morning Folk, here on EBI 103.1 FM and digital at EBI World.
You are listening to 5EBI, multicultural broadcasters in Adelaide, South